you hear us celebrating? I brought party favors. I live in Seattle. I'm
I
outside.
can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Your sound isn't working, but you're unmuted.
Oh, let's see. You might be in here. Can you hear me now?
I totally can hear you now.
So I'll do that again. Hold on. We have party favors. We're celebrating.
You know what? I actually did a fireworks. I have a fireworks. It's not a very good one. I have like a.
I like it. That's a good one. That's a good
I
one.
found a sound.
I. We're celebrating. So
Congratulations to you. You know, I just want to honor you and welcome you to this amazing part of Ignite, because you just jumped in. You just both feet jumped all in, said, yes, I'm in. I'm a part of this. I'm in. And you've just been like an integral part of the Ignite family since the moment you showed up. And we just want to say thank you. We love how happy you are, how intelligent, how profound. And, you know, you really just, without much hesitation, just said, I'm in. And is that indicative of Traci? Is that your natural state? I'm in.
100%. I would say that what is most indicative of who I am is when I feel that it's right for me, I'm in. Right? I write about that in my book. I talk about these bigger than me moments, right? How we can tap into the source of power and happiness and joy when it feels right, when you know it's for you, it's for you. And it was so for me. Everything about you connected with me, and yes, I'm in. I would say I don't just jump in. I'm very I think about things, but I when I feel it, and I'm in. Yes.
And I like that because a lot of people get the message intuitively, or they get the inner direction,
Right.
and then they offset it, or they circumvent it, or they counteract it. And talk a little bit about that, because you know, now we're at that point, I think, in history where we really do need to follow our intuition. We really do need to be guided by something deeper than sort of the mindset of the mind of the human, that can be fear-based or competitive-based, or you know, all of the other things, versus just following the heart.
Right. And I know you have a very similar spirit, which is why I love you, which is why everything you do, I said I'm in. Right. The next book is called Ignite Your Inner Spirit. I can't wait to write and ignite in your inner spirit, because it is about knowing yourself. A lot of times, the world is so busy and you're on this, you know, I would say you're in the middle of this rat race, and you're on this treadmill, and you just don't take the time to get off. You don't take the time to connect, to spend time in silence, to really, to know thyself, to thine own self be true, right? And so I think when you know who you are, when you know what are your core values, what feels right for you, what is for you, it's for you, and there's no question. I think you and I had a conversation once, and as you know, I'm leading this major movement, and it's like, it's for who it's for. When it's for you, it's for you, right? We know that to be true. And I think
I know.
I was going to say, I actually do ask for
I was going to say, like, I
confirmations.
feel this sisterhood.
Totally. I never met anyone with more energy than I have, and that's you, JB. You're like more energy, more projects.
And
Excuse me.
what I love, and this is fascinating for me, is that I feel like we have the exact same message, the exact same mission, the exact same purpose, the exact same level of energy, but we have different words and different ways of doing it, but it's so much the same. I mean, I call it Ignite Moments, you call it Bigger Than Me Moments. I talk about going and igniting your possibilities, and you talk about living on purpose. And it's just, it's like, I'm just nodding my head all the time whenever we talk, because it's a very, very similar, it's the same alignment. It's just a different message. It's just different words. It's just coming from a different, like a different outsource, but the inner source, the bigger source is giving the same message.
I could not have said that. Sorry. I could not have said that any better. That is so 100% true. You are absolutely my, we call it sister from another mother, right? You're literally, you and I are 100%
Yeah, baby.
connected.
I love you. Yes, yes.
Right? So I mean, every when it's truly no misrepresentation of the truth. I've written at least 5 books since I left. I spent 25 years, as you know, in corporate America. I worked 8 years at IBM, 14 years at Disney, my last 5 at Microsoft. So I was in the corporate world. I always was very active in community service as well. I connected with myself during this process to learn more about even who I am. So the more I learned about who I am, when I see people who are like me, like you, that inner spirit, that divine calling, that fearlessness, a level of when you know it's for you, it's for you. You're riding a bicycle around across the country. Who does that? Who does that? Yeah, exactly. JB Owen.
Yeah, just, again, you inspire me because it's bigger than me moments. It's like I just got the calling that that's what I was supposed to do, and I didn't know what my lessons were going to be. I didn't know what I was going to learn. I didn't know how much it was going to change me. I just knew it was going to change me, and I was up for the assignment, so off I went. And so, thank you for all of your support. I want to talk a little bit about your story, because in your story you do talk about the journey, and you have an incredible resume. I mean, not a lot of people can say that they've worked at all those powerhouse companies for that many years, and yet you made a shift. You made a big change to go for what was really in your heart. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. And I love I love when you speak. I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. Yes. We're doing a Facebook Live now, I think. Are we doing Facebook Live or videotaping? Oh, he's videotaping it. I want you to do Facebook Live. But anyway, both. She said do both. Anyway, he's like,
yeah,
just,
Facebook Live is on.
I love it. So what I love about this process and my journey is when I meet people like you, there's such comfort in it. There's such comfort in like this confirmation, right? Like you said, you didn't know what your outcome was going to be, right? But you knew that this is what you were supposed to do. That is how I live my life as well. And Deepak Chopra has a book, one of my favorites, is called The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. And one of the things he talks about in that is, you talk about ignite possibilities, which I'll be writing in that too. And he talks about his first law is around, tapping into the infinite possibilities in the universe. It's believing that that things are going to happen for your good. So that's a core value for me, right? Igniting the possibilities, which is your next big project. I'm so in, right? I'm not even, I don't try small things. I try big things. And the truth is, working in corporate America is part of my journey. It's part of the story I've never told. So this was so freeing for me. I mean, I've always worked in corporate America, and like I said, I've been in leadership roles, say the diversity resource groups, the Black employee resource group, the leadership teams. I was president of Disney has the largest single source employer in the nation, and I was the president of the Black employee resource group there. And it's really more about justice and connection and community, because when you're in a leadership role, oftentimes you're the only person that looks like you, that has a culture like you. So when you're able to be around your people, you know how it is, right? You get to break it down. There's some comfort in that. So I've always been in corporate America, worked in professional roles, but also felt like I had a responsibility, a calling to make things better. So when I say my 2 core values are justice and progress, I did work within the confines of corporate America, wholeheartedly believing that I could change things. Ultimately, the divine spirits had something even better for me. Like, I needed to go through the experience that I went through, and I won't even share it. I'll let them read it in the book. But I needed to have all of the experiences that I've had to feel grateful, to have a deeper level of empathy. It's just such a beautiful thing. So to your point, I didn't know where it was going to end, but in the middle of the shenanigans, I knew the one thing I knew is that this was a bigger than me moment. It was all bigger than me, that I was having these experiences so that I could ignite happiness in others, so that I could bring justice to others, so that I could bring progress to an organization. So it just felt good. I mean, to be honest, I think my biggest lesson is that we can be happy along the way. The solo project that I'm working on with you is called Loving the Journey and Living the Dream. It's loving the journey while you're living the dream in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of the shenanigans, while things are going crazy, if in your heart you know that you are being true to your values, yay! Hallelujah. There's happiness in that,
Yeah,
right?
because I'm with right, because I'm with you because the pandemic is just another word that is means, the divorce, the broken pelvis, the ostracization, there's just it's just another word for another obstacle that life is going to put in front of you, and for you to decide, am I going to climb over this, crawling over broken glass if I have to, or I'm going to let this stop me. And so, I like what you say. There is this idea that the pandemic is changing lives in certain ways, but there are so many lives that it's changing for the better, for the good, for the blessing. And your story, I think, obviously pre-pandemic, but you really talk about having that epiphany, that bigger than me moment that really sets you on a new trajectory. And I think that's the piece that I love about your story, is it really shifted you into a new trajectory, and you found the happiness piece behind it.
Right. And it's interesting that the when you call it an ignite moment, I think the difference between an ignite moment and a bigger than me moments, there can be bigger than me moments along the way. A really big bigger than me moment is an ignite moment. Like one that really totally shifts, totally changes everything. And I think this idea of, for me, it was about feeling my feelings fully, being able to really embrace the beauty that I possess, as an individual, to love myself fully, wholly, and know that it's bigger than me, that everything, it's all bigger than me, right? And we all get to contribute to, to live our best lives, to be our best, but also to help others. And so for me, it was just, and when you know it, when you feel it, when you have these moments, it's just, it's so divine. That's all I can say. It's amazing.
It is so divine. And I just want to share, you've got some other projects. So this isn't
I
just the
do.
first, this isn't just the first and the last time we're going to see about
No.
you in the Ignite community. So obviously taking part in some of our next and upcoming books, wanting to do your own marquee book, wanting to do your own solo book. I mean, we've got some really fun things to do. So talk a little bit just about the freedom and the excitement and the joy you felt about reading your story, writing your story, seeing it on paper, now knowing you're a bestseller, the pride, the self-worth that came around writing your story.
You know what? I got to tell you, I have been writing just in general since I left Microsoft. Right, I consider myself a lot of things. I write really relatively well, you know, um, with my first drafts. But I didn't write until I actually connected with you and your team, because you guys really pushed me. I documented truths. I wrote in a very academic way. Like, here's the lessons learned. Here's how you can apply it. But you guys really pulled out. I cried writing my story. One of your editors said, if you're not crying, you ain't going deep enough. I'm like, oh, lovely. I'm like, okay. So if that's the famous line from you. If you're not crying, you're not going deep enough. Whew. So
Exactly.
I never wrote that way. So for me, this Ignite family, you're my family. The Ignite family is like my new tribe. I found my people. There's such comfort in that. And I have to tell you, you're I'm grateful for you all. I mean, where else would I have met almost nearly 40 individuals from around the world, and they're all amazing. My new besties. Literally,
Yeah, I
all
know.
amazing. So I'm grateful.
It's
Yes.
so true. This is an incredible tribe of people from around the globe, people with heart-centered, real, true heart-centered values, who really are sharing their stories for the good of others. And I curate and vet every author, knowing that the reason they want to write a story is to help someone else. I mean, really,
Mm.
that's the most important thing to them, is to inspire, motivate, and encourage, uplift, and impact humanity with other people. And you, girl, are doing that. So I just want to say thank you so much. I am so excited. I know that we have like a year of more. We have a lifetime to play
Yes.
together. Sisters from another mother, and so
Exactly.
many fun things. Traci's going to be a big part of Ignite going forward, and I just want you to enjoy her story thoroughly. Any wisdom, any sort of, give us your little golden nugget before we end your interview.
I would say what I'm really excited about is that I will be producing 5 books in the next 6 months, including Ignite Happiness. Ignite Happiness, Ignite Your Inner Spirit, Ignite Possibilities, my solo project, Loving the Journey and Living the Dream, which is your art and science of being aware and getting there. And then what I'm super excited about is I'm bringing together my own marquee book, my own compilation book, where I'm literally changing the world. So that's called it's actually called How to Become Visible. And that piece came from my connection with you. The process that we're going through is I'm leading this initiative called the Bigger Than Me Success Series, achieving racial equity and inclusion in business, education, wealth, and health. But really, the how to become visible part is what you taught me in this process. Is really about connecting to what it means to change lives. Achieving racial equity and inclusion is important, but helping people to become visible, to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be loved, it's magic. So, yay!
You're gonna make me cry. Oh my god.
I love my Ignite
Thank
family.
you so much.
Mwah. I love
Me too.
you guys.
Really, it brings so. I love you too. It brings so much emotion to me. To know that, and I see it in everyone's faces, and I hear it in everyone's voice. Really, the transformation, the awakening, the self-realization. It's just so powerful. I just love it so much, and I'm so looking forward to us playing together. So as soon as I get back from I have 1,000 more kilometers to go. We're gonna be like locked like glue, baby girl. So
Excellent.
congratulations on being a best-selling author. You deserve it so much. Here is your giant happy. I actually have a little bit of happy music for you. I have been getting some of my fun free sounds, and I'll play a little something special as we give Traci a big cheer and a big happy and a little bit of a happiness. Here we go. You're so great. You did a great job. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
See, you just gotta have fun and happiness. You just gotta make it playful and.
Oh. Thank you. This is Traci Harrell. So before I'm going to pause this one while we continue this one. I'm going to mute this one real quick. So this is Traci Harrell. Oh my goodness. That was just my 15 minutes with the publisher. Her name is JB Owen. I'll just turn this around. I don't know if you can actually see her. Can you make that out, darling? Can you see her at all? I want to give her some quick props. It was kind of almost impossible for us to figure out, can't really see it, how to showcase JB while we talk to you all. And I wanted just to share that experience with you. How cool is it for us to be able to, wow, just go on a journey where I invite you to be part of my book launch team. Again, 5 books in the next 6 months. This book is already on track to be an international bestseller, which is super, super exciting. I think they have us in different categories. So self-help, I think, is one of the categories. So I'm excited for each of you. I just wanted to say thank you in advance for supporting me. Book number 1, there's 4 more books coming, and we are going to change the world together. This is Traci Harrell, and Ignite Happiness in your life. And remember, it's bigger than me, but together it's not bigger than us.